guys? Brian RedGrave here with On Camera Frank Kastle, one of the Skolomaniacs.
What's up, guys?
We're here to talk about something very exciting.
Fucking amazing
If you're
for
a
us wrestling fans,
Yeah,
yes.
wrestling
Absolutely. Jesus walks among us again.
CM Punk.
CM Punk's debut. Or re-debut?
AEW debut.
Yeah, AEW debut.
CM Punk showed up in AEW for the very first time, not just in AEW, but for the first time in 7 years.
Count it, 7.
7 years since he left the WWE on bad terms.
Horrible terms. Fired on his wedding day. Mind you.
Yes, who can forget that one? So, that being said, for many years, CM Punk said he would not return to the world of professional wrestling.
In fact, he bashed it.
Yes.
He bashed it for years.
Yeah. He was sick and tired of it. And during that time, he did multiple projects. He wrote comics, appeared in movies, and had an unsuccessful UFC run, unfortunately.
He crossed it off his bucket list. I don't hate him. It's hard to be a UFC fighter. That's one of the hardest jobs.
And a no contest, but regardless, respect for going after your dream, win or lose. If you go for what you want, credit to him.
That's right.
So
he tried, he failed, but he tried.
You walk with that. It's an experience that none of us have. So regardless. So that being said, after 7 years of not being in wrestling, doing all these other projects, CM Punk showed up in Chicago, AEW Rampage, The Last Dance, which was August 20, 2021. That's a date to forever remember.
Infamy, man. Infamous.
In a couple of years from now, you will look at the greatest returns in wrestling, and you will see that return.
It's going to be at least the top 5, if not the top 3. Because the one thing I can think of that was close to that was Cena's return after he got his elbow separated.
Royal Rumble 2008.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble. And that surprise return at, 30? He came at 30, right?
Nobody expected him.
Nobody expected to see no John Cena.
Way before he was supposed to, because he was hurt. And he was supposed to be out for a couple more months. So, but the
ovation for his return is only comparable to one incident. Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago against Cena.
When he won the WWE title from John Cena in a fantastic match. I think even Dave Meltzer gave it a 5 out of 5.
The only 5-star match in WWE.
So, that being said, CM Punk.
He's not a draw?
Not a
Roman, he ain't no draw? Come on, I think you're feeling yourself a little too much, bro.
Yes, if anything to go by, and some people might try to say it's his hometown. Some wrestlers even get booed in their hometown. Edge is one of them when he got booed 2004, 2005, around that time. So that being said, if that's your excuse, here we are on a Saturday. What's today? 21st, right? Yes, 21st. He debuted yesterday. When he shows up on Dynamite Wednesday, I bet you the reaction will be the same, even if it's not Chicago.
Yeah, that one of our peoples in the circle, we're not going to name names. He says CM Punk's only a draw in Chicago.
Yeah, he only got
We are about to find that out.
He only got that reaction because of his hometown. I disagree.
I absolutely disagree.
That being said, CM Punk showing up in AEW, I got goosebumps with the crowd reaction, the entrance, the music, cult of personality hit. And now, this is the crowd knowing he was going to show up. Just imagine if the crowd wouldn't have known, which I'm sure would have been the original plan, but people like Dave Meltzer and all these people snitching out.
Yeah, digging. They was digging.
Yeah, snitching out. Really 100% confirmed.
Apparently he's not a big enough draw that they wanted to know for sure that he had a contract and he's going to come back. They were
so
the whole time.
With CM Punk now officially back in wrestling, not part-time, not short-term.
Nope. Full-time contract.
So, and we already know his first promo is going to be with Darby Allin.
Great pick, by the way.
We know that's going to be a fantastic match.
That's going to be a Cell City. Cell City.
All out.
Ridiculous.
Now, there's also the possibility, because he did say I'll see Sting also, they could try to turn it into a tag match. But we're just talking possibilities. We don't know anything, right?
Nope.
If we spoke possibilities, who do you think would be a good tag partner for CM Punk? For Punk. Because here's the thing. A few things. Punk has not wrestled in 7 years. ring rust could be a thing, right? We've seen some greats like Shawn Michaels come back after 8 years away or whatever and give us a horrendous performance. We saw Edge come back and give us a fantastic performance. We don't technically know which of the two ways this could go.
At all, we don't.
We don't.
We haven't seen him training. He said he's been doing it secretly. I believe him. He's got like a house in Milwaukee or some shit like that in the cut somewhere. So I believe him when he says he doesn't have any ring rust. But if I was to take him off, if I was to pull him off the bench.
To add to that, he is going to appear in heels, and Stephen Amell already stated, seeing him work, that he hasn't missed a step. He hasn't missed a step. And
I trust Stephen Amell because he did his the first All Out or the first All In. The first All In, he did absolutely well. He did well.
A lot better than he did when he was in WWE, which he really didn't do anything of anything.
Yeah, nothing of note.
Credit to him. Those two performances are from to it was really good. So if Stephen Amell did that, he could definitely tell us if CM Punk hasn't missed a step. So back to the question. Obviously chances are it'll be a 1-on-1.
All right,
1-on-1. But should it be a tag match? Because Sting is always with Darby Allin. I'm putting you on the spot. Who do you think would be a good partner for CM Punk at that?
Okay, now we don't know definitively if he's going to be a face or a heel. In Chicago, it doesn't matter what he is. He's the hometown hero. It doesn't matter.
First time back, so regardless, emotions are going to get
emotion. He was being emotional in his first promo, the I Back promo. But if he's going heel, he got to team up with Gallows and Anderson.
I was telling Mr. Kastle here that I kind of hope, I'm not saying this needs to happen immediately, just in time. Gallows and Serena are both in AEW, and if you don't know this, they used to be the Straight Edge Society.
Best heel promo work
in WWE, and they were a very good faction.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, it didn't end well, and Serena got fired for breaking kayfabe. Ridiculous.
The dumbest shit ever.
But that being said, with the three of them being there, maybe not now, but in due time, we could see some type of reunion.
He has friends all over AEW. He could do a heel run with the Bucks. He could do a best in the world match with Kenny. He could do a program with Adam Page. He can even go messing with the Dark Order. He could do anything he wants right now.
I want to see him versus Jungle Boy.
Yo, the possibilities for Punk's return is absolutely endless.
Malachi Black.
Look, Malachi Black goes from being released unceremoniously from WW Dork E and instantly prepared to superstar status.
Mid-push, may I add. He was released mid-push. Right
5 minutes in 3 appearances. That's probably the total running time that he's showed up on live TV. It's like a total of 5 minutes. And he's already main event status? Come on, Vince. What's really going on?
I want to say something in regards to this return in wrestling in general. The past couple of years, we've seen returns that have been fantastic. Daniel Bryan came back from injury, which is another possibility, if rumors are to be true, that he'll join AEW.
Well, apparently, TK says that's a done deal. That was a done deal before Punk was a done deal.
Reports say it's 100% confirmed, and the same report said the same about CM Punk, and here we are.
See, the best thing Tony Khan did, and for the fans of wrestling, professional wrestling, not sports entertainment, the Forbidden Door. The thing that kayfabe hates is that interpromotional wrestling, that's amazing shit. There's talent all over the world, not just in one spot. And to showcase these talents and to give this promotion to all these other smaller wrestling things, I think is a great thing. Tony Khan knows exactly what he's doing.
So far, you can't argue with anything he's really done. I mean, the only criticism I have, and he has, and it's almost worldwide, is their women's division needs some work. Should they get the women's division up there, like the tag and the singles man division?
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be world class, but it has to be better than it is. WWE has a better women's roster. Are they using them right? No, obviously not. But they have a better women's roster. They do.
But it says something when they're not using them right, and they're still better than what AEW has. Besides Britt Baker.
much love to Britt. Love you, Britt. You are absolutely
Besides,
you are absolutely the diamond in the rough when it comes to the women's division.
Yeah.
Promo, ring work, you got the whole thing, sweetheart. You got the whole thing. Adam Cole's a lucky man. He's a lucky man. And you're a doctor. Jesus.
You good?
Is there anything else? Yeah, right. Is there anything else on your list?
So, back to CM Punk. We'll get to him in a second. I've never really watched Ring of Honor or any of that. So I came to see CM Punk once he joined WWE. Originally in the relaunch ECW, which that ECW was well known. It was complete and utter garbage. That being said, CM Punk was one of the few highlights on that 1 hour show. There was a couple other things. It wasn't complete trash, but CM Punk was one of those rare cases where, regardless though he didn't blow up onto the pipe bomb in 2011, without that ECW run, the rest might have not even happened.
For real, not even. So,
CM Punk, man, a part of me, I understand he came back with cult of personality, which the crowd obviously your word was synonymous with CM Punk, but part of me wishes he would have come back with his fire burns from his original run with WWE.
I'm a huge Killswitch Engage fan, so that would either way would have been fine by me.
But I feel like it's been so long since he's had that song. Maybe the crowd might have not known immediately exactly that it was him until they saw him.
But then, it kind of has something to do with trademarking too, because TK, before anybody even knew for sure Punk was going to come to AEW, he trademarked. He had trademark from A Living Color for the Cult of Personality. He didn't trademark anything else. He just trademarked that. And they willingly gave it to him. They even tweeted that they wanted to perform that shit live.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, they wanted to do it live.
Which, yeah, at the end of the day...
They may still.
At the end of the day...
They might still.
WWE does not own Living Color or Cult of Personality. Nobody does. Only Living Color does. So, where that song goes is there.
They may still bring CM Punk out at All Out.
Yeah, it's like Triple H. Triple H's songs are Motorhead. It's Motorhead. It's not Vinnie Mac. Yeah. So
they were using real music, and that was one of WWE's biggest beefs with Punk is that he didn't want to do their programs. He wanted to do his thing, and so
he left in very bad terms, which he did reference that in the promo. But what's it that he said exactly?
He said he didn't want to stay in a place that made him sick.
Yes. So that tells you something. Now,
and sick can mean one of many things. Even though he was healthy for most of his 2014 run, he was unhealthy, very unhealthy. Mental health.
When you're unhealthy, it doesn't mean physically. It doesn't have to mean physically. I could be sick right now and it just be all up here. And it doesn't mean that I have mental problems. It could mean I'm emotionally not in the right place. So it could mean a bunch of things. But he wasn't happy there. He said it. He made it seem like he said he left professional wrestling in 2005. If you know anything, after that is when he joined WWE. Now, does that necessarily mean that his entire run there was horrible?
Absolutely not.
No
way. Pipe bomb.
I'm sure he had a lot of great moments he liked. There was some stuff that I never agree with. Like, I don't know if it was his first or second world title. He lost it without losing a match. He got taken out backstage and he couldn't compete. There was definitely downsides to his career. But, like I mentioned earlier, the Straight Edge Society, the pipe bomb, his entire 34-day reign as title. I think it was 434.
That they expunged. They expunged from the record books. Unbelievable.
By Brock Lesnar.
They expunged.
Like 10 defenses versus like how many?
And then Roman's going to break that too.
Right now, we can't really argue that. The Roman Reigns is literally almost single-handedly carrying that company.
But that's not his fault.
Yeah.
That's not his fault. They got the talent to book right. They want to cater to the kids.
Now,
let me make sure. Let me make it clear to the wrestling fans out there that are watching. Kids don't buy tickets. So you can appeal to all the kids you want, but kids don't buy tickets. If the parents are not interested in the product, they're like, "Oh, what are you watching that garbage for?" You'll never get the sales that you're looking for anyway. Obviously, it's showing now.
fun fact about sales. As of right now, because of CM Punk's return, it was
$1,000 a
it
ticket.
was reported
$1,000
that
a
the
ticket.
tickets for the next pay-per-view have now on the secondary market, meaning it doesn't cost like this if you buy it online. But if you can't find any and you want to buy it off somebody, right now they're ranging around the $900 to $1,000.
4 figures. 4 figures.
So
For
again,
tickets. All
one
out.
more time, Roman Reigns, CM Punk ain't a draw. I don't know whether that's him doing heel work or whether that's him thinking over his head or whether he was told to say that. Either way, any other three, he would be wrong. I'm excited for the future of CM Punk. He already stated he'll be here Wednesdays, he'll be there Fridays, he'll be pay-per-views. This is not just a now thing and disappear. No. This
You
is
already said he found his love, his passion for wrestling again.
Yes,
that's gonna make
literally what he said.
a fucking huge difference in his performance and the people around him. You have no idea what we're about to embark on. Nobody does.
This is going to be years. 7 years in the making.
This is the uncharted territory that we've been waiting for years.
Can I say he looked in great shape? He
Absolutely.
literally, something
amazing.
he told me earlier.
You need to color up the gray on his beard because he is looking seasoned. But he looks great. He's in great shape. He's in great shape.
He didn't look that much different than he did in 2011.
Not at all. The side-by-sides are almost identical, except for the
Can
gray.
I just say
and
the
beard.
crowd lost it when the music played, when he came out.
I would have loved
All
to
he
be
did
there.
was sit down, and the crowd just lost it. Like, my God. Like, literally the guy just, like, anybody just lost their mind. I lost my mind watching it. I was just like, wow, like, I can't believe it. For years, because of how bad things were in WWE, seeing somebody you like a lot in a sport like that bash the own product, it was kind of sad.
They drove him so crazy that he
kinda-
hated professional wrestling
it was kinda
altogether. That's what led him towards his botched UFC career because he had no gas. There was nothing happening. It was all WWE. At that point, it was all WWE. There was no rivalries. There was the Indies hasn't even started surging at that point. Not even. It was because of CM Punk's pipe band program where he gave shout outs to New Japan and Ring of Honor that people started to focus in on these promotions. Why was he talking about these people? Because there's some serious talent, especially in Japan. They say wrestling's fake. Look up Strong Style. Okay, them dudes be whacking each other. They be whacking each other, and the crowd be dead silent so they can hear all the slapping and all the punching and all the cracking of the chairs. They are real serious about their wrestling there, so they don't cheer. They only cheer for winners. In the meantime, you're watching the dude get smacked around, shit flying out of their face. Watch a New Japan match if you don't believe me. The crowd be silent. They be silent until something happens. So, all I can say is get ready. This is going to be a wild ride. This is going to be a wild ride. And he got all that to choose from. Dream matches galore. You got Omega, you got Paige, you got fucking...
You have even people who...
Andrade.
You even have people he competed with in the past who are in a different level. People like Chris Jericho right now, the former Dean Ambrose, now John Moxley. You got some of these guys who he did compete with in the past.
And he said
and he could.
in his promo, he has some alignments to make and some scores to settle. That could be anybody. He still owes Jericho a beating for all the shit he was talking about his folks. And his problems with alcohol abuse. Not his, but his family's. He's still a homie. I think that was kind of personal even when it happened. So if he wants to go smack him for that, that'd be nice.
Who is the best in the world.
And that's it.
Even though Chris Jericho doesn't really say that anymore. But regardless. I mean, it could be debatable though.
Oh, man. That was a good program anyway.
Yeah, who is the best in the world?
And of course, the legendary himself, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. That's going to be an Iron Man match. That's 60 minutes there.
Now, will Daniel Bryan's debut be bigger than CM Punk?
No.
You don't think so?
You know
I
what?
don't think so either. Because
I'll explain why.
Go ahead.
Daniel Bryan's been here. People been waiting for CM Punk.
Exactly. Had this happened when he retired in 2016, I believe, and now come out of retirement, yes. But we literally saw Daniel Bryan wrestle a few months ago in SmackDown. Is it exciting? Absolutely. It's Daniel Bryan. He's Daniel Bryan. And he's probably one of the most popular dudes in wrestling. I mean, his 2014 run, go back to that program, and he was getting some of the biggest pops in wrestling history. You don't believe me, look it up.
YouTube.
His pops during that time matched The Rock, Stone Cold, the best of the best, John Cena.
The B+ player run. That was it right there, the B+ player.
So, that being said, will the crowd completely go bananas? Yes. But I personally don't think it's as exciting. I guess nothing against Bryan. But Punk has been missing for 7 years. The last time we saw Punk in wrestling, he got taken out by Kane, and then he disappeared.
And he said on several different occasions, he may not return to wrestling. So this made that even more, yeah.
For a long time, he didn't want to. I mean, I remember a couple years ago, somebody had asked him in an interview about what if he felt like he was the best in the world in wrestling, and he said, "What does it matter? It's scripted." That sounds like somebody
who's bitter,
who's bitter and tired and annoyed. All that. That is not the CM Punk we saw last night,
not at
Friday.
All. This one looked rejuvenated. His spirit was there. You could see the emotion and raw, fucking jumping in the crowd like the Lambeau Leap.
Yes,
including with COVID. Can I say that? COVID. He jumping in crowds with people, okay? This is a dude that's happy.
Yeah, I don't think he was even thinking about that.
Not at all.
He was
just happy to be there.
You could see it in his eyes. You could see the watery eyes. It was definitely an emotional moment. Hometown or not, after 7 years, he probably forgot what it felt like to feel that. Because even with UFC behind him, a UFC crowd is not a wrestling crowd at all. Or a boxing crowd. The wrestling crowds are unique that they truly are part of the show.
Yeah, a lot of special moments.
Chris Jericho coming out with no song and the crowd singing his entire song is the best example of that. There are no crowds like a wrestling crowd.
Yep.
And that's another thing about AEW. The crowds in AEW are so much better than WWE that, sure, you probably would have had that same pop in WWE in Chicago. Yeah, sure. No, I don't think so. No. Something about the AEW crowd, they get more involved, more invested.
Like the last couple.
You know what the problem might be too? WWE has a tendency of muting crowds, changing crowds. Sometimes, before Roman became the tribal chief and was the most hated person in wrestling, I will see this man get booed out of the building in Raw, come the YouTube replay, and he was getting cheered.
Yeah, piping in.
You see the
piping
problem.
in crowd noises.
So that could be it too. The other day there was a report that WWE wasn't allowed wasn't allowed recordings. You're kind of killing your own crowd. You're kind of killing your own fans. AEW's not doing any of that.
You're zapping. WWE is zapping the fun out of wrestling. It's just totally zapping the fun out of it.
Do I think Punk's return in WWE would have been as big? I don't think so.
Not
sure, the crowd would have gone bananas too, but no. The crowd involvement in AEW is so much more.
Vince downplaying his return in a rival promotion only states that he had no lock on CM Punk. When he did him as dirty as he did, it didn't matter what he offered him.
And nobody's going to tell me you got fired on your wedding day out of a coincidence. Like,
there's no fucking coincidence.
Over 300 days in the year. You're telling me that's the
Could
day.
Could have picked any fucking day.
That's the day it landed on, guys.
I would personally be insulted. And I'm not a professional wrestler. Well, not totally anyway.
Not just from... Not just in wrestling, any job. Any job that fires you on your wedding day, that's a job you never want to go back to.
On your wedding day, your birthday, Christmas, you name it. Any kind of situation like that, that's not a time to give somebody their paperwork, man.
So, CM Punk is officially back in wrestling. 7 years in the making. The best in the world. It was clobbering time. It will be clobbering time Wednesday, Friday, pay-per-views.
Going to be tuning in every week because we don't know when. He'll just up and decide to want to wrestle one night, and we'll miss it. So we have to watch.
You have Andrade, Malachi Black. You have all these guys. Yes,
and it doesn't have to be him. They can go after him.
Yes. Now, please, Tony Khan, Bray Wyatt.
Man, give us all that shit. Give us. We want all of
Listen,
it. We want
the
it all.
complaint that AEW is getting too crowded. Now we have AEW Rampage. We have 2 shows, just like Raw and SmackDown.
TK, man, take my money, man. I'm trying. Take my money. I want to see all kinds of dream bouts that I thought about, and CM Punk is in like most of them.
This is going to be the beginning of a fantastic run. Sure, could it all go sideways? Absolutely. He could completely suck and pull a Shawn Michaels on us. Shawn Michaels, one of the greatest of all time and my personal all-time favorite wrestler. And he let me down. He let me down. But, that being said, he could also pull an edge. So, the last couple of years, we've got Daniel Bryan coming out of retirement. We've had Edge come out of retirement. And now we have, I was about to say Chris Jericho, sorry. CM Punk come out of essentially retirement. Who is next?
We're waiting for Wyndham. Cult of Wyndham, we're ready. Dark Order needs a leader, bro.
They desperately need to.
They need a leader. Brody, I think he'd only leave it to you anyway. So if you see this,
oh yeah, I think him doing that would be just the best way to honor that dude.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and for CM Punk,
and you can go ahead and get Redbeard too. He's ready. He's been ready to go.
CM Punk versus Jungle Boy. I mean Jungle Boy versus Kenny Omega, like that match. Like
fucking
just my God, just now imagine that with CM Punk. Again, it could all go sideways, but I'm being hopeful. For all we know, Edge got hurt on his 3rd match back, right? And they had to take a break.
See, look,
we don't.
The reason why Punk and Omega is the ultimate match is because Kenny Omega can make anybody look good. He lost to Christian. He lost his belt to Christian. The kill switch that he took on the chair looked brutal.
Can I just say something? If Punk was gonna come in, I would have much preferred Kenny retain against Christian to then then feud with Punk.
Can you imagine a Kenny
and drop
GTS?
The title? Like, just imagine. This is just imaginary world now. Imagine Kenny never loses the title. Punk comes out, and they just out of nowhere have let's just hopefully Punk is training real hard, and they had an impromptu match.
They go 60 minutes on the spot.
And then drop the title to Punk. I know disrespect to Christian, but I feel like that would have been so much epic. Like, similar to when Paige debuted on Raw, she beat AJ Lee that night. It was shocking. You don't expect that. Nobody expected Paige, and let alone to win the title. Now, just imagine that on a bigger scale. Not disrespect to AJ Lee or Paige, but it's because it's Punk right now. 7 years away. 7 years is a long time for the Hard to Grow founder for somebody. So
I wouldn't be mad. Like, some people go get right off the bench and get a title push. I wouldn't be mad if they stuck him into a title program immediately. No. He never really...
It's CM Punk.
Yeah, it's fucking CM Punk. And meanwhile, he never really lost the belt in 2014.
2013.
His last match was what? Royal Rumble in 2014?
Yeah, so it was
he was on a title chase.
Yeah, no, he I think the last title was when he dropped it to The Rock. We won't talk about that.
Man.
We won't talk about that. It was good.
No disrespect to The Rock. That's one of my dudes.
No, since this CM Punk on topic, I will talk about it a little briefly. But I feel like we already had John Cena versus The Rock, which was a good match. The first match was a good match, and the second wasn't that bad either. But the idea for CM Punk, his idea, was that it should have been a triple threat, and I think that would have been much better.
Absolutely.
I feel like even if he dropped the title to The Rock, then do the triple threat, and Cena wins overall, we had already seen John Cena versus The Rock. So CM Punk, man. So before I end this video, we're clocking in at 30-minute mark. We don't know what's in the future for Punk in AEW, but we do know forever. But we do know his past in WWE. So give me 3 favorite moments, not counting the pipe bomb or the Chicago, him beating John Cena. Favorite CM Punk moments. Doesn't have to be a match. It could just be a promo that you remember or any moment that he was included.
Well, are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you mine.
I can think of one right off the top.
Okay, I got mine, so I'm gonna let you think on that.
All right.
And number 1 was when he said you couldn't box with God, referring to himself.
The box with God promo.
Yeah, you can't box God. He was calling himself God. Is he actually God? No. But was he the God of wrestling at the time?
At that moment?
At that time? Absolutely. That promo was, I thought, fantastic. Number 2, his interaction with Stone Cold. I'm not naming matches, just like segments. Interaction with Stone Cold, where Stone Cold offered him a beard. And we all know Punk lives the straight edge lifestyle. And then they had the whole, Stone Cold catchphrase. What? Gold. Now, most people don't like this. I thought it was genius. I don't see it as a disrespect to the person when he did the whole earn thing with Paul Heyman about Paul Bearer towards The Undertaker. Some people felt like it was disrespectful. Some people felt like it was not right. At the end of the day, Paul Bearer, whose real name I can't even, Paul Moody or something like that. I can't think of it, but you guys know who Paul Bearer is. That man knew what wrestling was about. So I don't think he would have been bothered. I don't think he would have been annoyed. I don't think so. That being said, me personally, I thought I didn't think it was wrong.
You brought that moment up for me to sit here and chuckle in my head. Big ups to Paulie Dangerously for selling
Paul
that
Heyman
shit.
dressing as Paul Heyman dressing as Paul Bearer.
He looked good.
Just like this.
Yes.
CM Punk taking out Taker, taking the ashes. I thought that was just great. So, not counting matches, those were 3 favorite moments of CM Punk's WWE career.
That ovation at Money in the Bank when he took on Cena, his only 5-star match, Cena's only 5-star match. That's at number 1 on my list.
I did
for
say
moments.
can't use the pipe bomb on that one.
I'm still gonna say the crowd on that moment.
We're gonna call that
impromptu. I'm not saying the match itself. I'm just saying the entrance, the crowd, ovation, the reaction.
Okay. I'll let it go because it's not the actual match.
Right, it's not the match.
Okay.
Just the ovation. It's only comparable to last night. There's another one. That was his welcome back was big. That speech was big. The crowd needed to hear that.
WWE run.
You're talking about CM Punk moments.
No.
There's not too many I like in WWE. But when he took over NXT and he took them under his wing. The Nexus? Yeah, the NXT
new Nexus.
The new Nexus?
Yeah.
That was a pretty good run.
He had them God, it was torturing.
Right. It was like a frat. It was like some frat shit he was putting them through.
He was whooping fucking Husky Harris. You want to stay in here, you got to get whipped, boy.
And I don't know if this is actually a moment, but he created the Shield. That was his idea.
That's been said multiple times.
That was his idea. Roman wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for CM Punk. He owes him. Instead of running him down, you should be thanking him.
Do you have in WWE, can you name 3 feuds of CM Punk? Feuds, not matches. Did you like?
Jericho, Hardy, and Cena.
Yes, his rivalry with Jeff Hardy, which eventually led to Jeff Hardy walking out.
Yeah, the straight edge versus the broken Hardy. And
that would be one of my favorites too. That would be one of my favorites too. So, besides Jeff Hardy, without a doubt, his entire feud with John Cena. Say what you want about John Cena. That entire feud was just fantastic.
The working man's wrestler versus corporate. That was the whole theme. Is that John Cena was the corporate shill. He was Mr. WWE. CM Punk didn't fit the mold. He was us. He was the regular guy. And Vince don't like the regular guy.
Say? I'm the best in that ring, in this microphone.
On commentary, nobody could touch me.
That's right. So, CM Punk, he had some down moments in that company, especially seemingly backstage. As fans, he had a lot of good stuff. He had some bad stuff too. As of right now, his AEW run is starting fantastic. So, we'll see what's next for the future of Mr. Punk this Wednesday.
Phillip Brooks, for those who don't know.
Yes. So, did you watch CM Punk's return? What were your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did it live up to the hype? Did it not live up to the hype? Did you even think Punk was going to show up? Some people were under the impression he wasn't. There was
a huge swerve.
There was a lot of people who believed CM Punk was not gonna show up because of what he'd been saying for years.
Shit, man. It wasn't until 3 hours before his debut that Tony Khan tweeted and said, "I'm not gonna disappoint nobody."
Yes. He said he knows what people want and he wasn't gonna disappoint, and he delivered.
And then Punk put that. If you go on Punk's Twitter, it shows him in his hoodie standing outside the doors, like, "Really, bro? You gonna let me in or what?" That picture was funny as hell looking.
So this has been Frank Kastle and Brian RedGrave's opinion on CM Punk in general. His AEW debut.
Lifelong wrestling fans, that's our thing.
Up and down of his WWE career, the good, some of the bad. Man, I just cannot wait to see what's next for Mr. CM Punk. Or how I used to call him when I didn't know his name, Pepsi Man, because of his tattoo. When he first showed up.
With the debate about his special move, we got it.
Is he gonna keep up? Is he gonna keep the GTS?
Gotta find out next time. I gotta wait to see what he's gonna do in the ring yet.
Maybe Wednesday.
If his signature moves have changed,
he's gonna be there Wednesday. Is he gonna hit somebody?
Right, the running corner knee. I'm ready to see that smash.
I mean, I'm sure Wednesday, Darby Allin responds. Will it be face to face? Hopefully. This has been Frank Kastle and Brian RedGrave. The two of us